I didn't plan to tell this story honestly for a long time. I told myself it was better left buried, one of those things you survive and then quietly walk away from. But the truth is, it stayed with me. And if you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or treated like you didn't belong where you stood, you might recognize yourself in this. It started on a night that should have been boring. I came home earlier than expected, not because anything dramatic happened, just one of those rare moments where meetings ended on time and my flight landed smoothly. I remember smiling to myself in the car thinking I'd surprise my wife. Maybe scare her a little, maybe we'd laugh about it later. Yeah, that kind of ordinary thought that feels almost cruel in hindsight. The house looked the same as always when I opened the door. Lights, warm, expensive silence, the kind money buys. And then a hand grabbed my wrist. "Don't talk." That whisper came from Lena, our housekeeper, her fingers shaking so badly I could feel it through my skin. Her eyes weren't just scared, they were urgent, like she was holding back something massive with pure willpower. I almost laughed out of reflex, like, what is this, some prank? But then I felt it, that heaviness in the air, like the house itself was warning me to stay still. Inside the living room, everything looked perfect. Too perfect. The chandelier was on sofas untouched, not a glass out of place. And yet, I heard my wife's voice, not the soft public version, not the one she used with friends or cameras. This one was measured, controlled, unfamiliar. "He won't suspect anything," she said. My stomach tightened. A man laughed quietly. Another voice replied from deeper in the room. And then she said it casually, almost bored. "If he comes back early, we make sure he doesn't leave again." That sentence didn't land all at once. It crept in word by word until my brain finally caught up with my ears. I leaned slightly, just enough to see the glass table, and that's when I noticed what didn't belong: a syringe, a small vial, and a thick envelope of cash. My mouth opened before my mind could stop it. Lena covered it instantly. Not rough, not dramatic, just firm enough to remind me that sound could get me killed. I followed her backward step by careful step into a small utility room that smelled like soap and bleach, the kind of place nobody ever pays attention to. My heart was pounding so loud I was sure someone would hear it. "What is this?" I whispered. Her voice cracked. "They've been planning for a long time." That's when the story rewound itself in my head, every late-night business trip, every unexplained visitor, every moment I chose trust over curiosity. Lena told me she'd tried to warn me once years earlier, but was threatened, told she'd disappear if she spoke. And then she told me about the driver, the one who vanished, the one everyone said went back to his village. "He saw too much," she said. My phone buzzed. My wife was calling me. Right then, standing just meters away. I froze. If I answered, she'd know I was home. If I didn't, she'd suspect something. The phone kept vibrating as footsteps moved down the hallway toward us. A shadow paused outside the door. A handle shifted slightly. "Lena," a man's voice asked calmly. She answered like nothing was wrong. Steady, professional cleaning supplies, routine work. The footsteps moved away. I didn't breathe again until they were gone. That was the moment fear turned into focus. Panic wouldn't save me. Thinking might. I asked about cameras. She hesitated, then admitted my wife had changed all the security access years ago, said it was for privacy. Privacy? Funny word when you're the one being erased. The only blind spot left was an old service building near the generator house, forgotten, broken off the system. We moved through my own home like strangers passing, men I didn't recognize, eating in my kitchen, joking like they belonged there. I kept my head down, my name suddenly feeling useless, like money only mattered until it didn't. Inside that abandoned room, sitting on the floor, reality finally hit me fully. The woman I married wanted me dead. Not in a moment of rage, not in panic, but calmly, strategically, like a project. "I'm sorry," I told Lena, and I meant it. Sorry for being blind. Sorry for assuming money meant control. She reached into her pocket and pulled out an old phone. I recorded some things she said, in case. That phone was the first real hope I'd felt all night. Before we could move again, my wife's voice came from outside, sweet and concerned. "Lena, are you there?" There was nowhere to hide. She opened the door, and my wife stepped in smiling until her eyes locked onto mine. Time froze. "You're home early," she said, forcing a laugh. "Yes," I replied calmly, "and I heard you." The mask slipped slowly. She didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She sighed like someone caught after a long, exhausting game. "Business is business," she said. That's when it clicked. I wasn't her partner. I was her opportunity. My name, my assets, my reputation, tools to be used and discarded. She called the guards, the ones who now answered to her, ordered them to take me upstairs and call the doctor. The doctor she controlled. I fought. It didn't matter. They dragged me through my own house past walls I paid for into a bedroom that used to mean safety. The doctor arrived, calm professional syringe already prepared. "This is murder," I said. He hesitated. That hesitation saved my life. Before the needle touched me, screaming echoed through the house. Chaos followed. Doors burst open. And then I heard a voice I trusted more than anyone. "Sir." My head of security stormed in with armed men, recordings already sent, backup activated. Everything collapsed at once. My wife lunged. A gunshot rang out. Smoke filled the room. She fell stunned, bleeding, staring at me like the ending had been rewritten without her permission. Police flooded the house. Guards were arrested. The doctor dropped to his knees. As they took her away, she whispered that she wasn't alone, that bigger people were involved. A promise, not a warning. Later at dawn, the mansion felt empty. Lena sat wrapped in a blanket, bruised, shaken alive. She saved my life with 2 words: "Don't talk." And that's what stayed with me. Not the money, not the power, not the betrayal, but the quiet courage of someone society teaches to stay invisible, choosing to speak anyway. So here's my question to you. If you were in my place, would you have trusted the life you built or the fear you felt? And if you were in hers, holding the truth while everyone else looked away, would you have stayed silent or whispered those same words that saved a life? Tell me what you think. Share your story. Agree, disagree, argue, if you want. Because conversations like this about power, trust, and who we believe don't end when the video does.